Okay, so in the last video, Nathan was kind enough to let me borrow his GitHub account to leave a review, and so we have some changes that we need to go through and make. And so what we're going to do is we're going to go through and approve these and make these changes. But there's a couple things I wanted to go focus on in terms of doing the review. Number one, sometimes it's really hard to tell where things are at just by looking at it. Like this one, I'm not quite sure what part of the file that's in. As someone going through the review yourself, you can head back to the Files Change tab and go view it there in full context, just like the reviewer did. That's an option. The other thing, you can go through and mark a review as resolved. So for example, if we go through and say these should be private, we say, yep, we'll fix. And in this case, I'm going to add a single comment for this one because I know that's the only one we'll do. You can also start a review here though. And then at that point, you can hit resolve and then it condenses that down again. Now, at that point, the one thing for code reviews is you've got to make sure you do it because reviewers come back and look at it and say, hey, it's not private. So again, coming back to this whole idea from before, anytime we want to go make a code change, we go to our IDE, whether that be, again, gedit, NetBeans, IntelliJ, VS Code. We go through, we make our code change, and then when it's time to go push, or save it rather, we fetch, we see if we need to pull. We don't, okay? Then we check that we're staged. Yep, we're good. Then we give it an effective description. So made point there's private. And then we commit. Now one more time, this is only local. It's not until we push it that it heads up to GitHub. Now, we've just fixed that one code. What about the rest? So here we can go through and refresh it and it'll bring it up to date. Let's go through and see where to go. This one. You can go through and you can make a reply and say that random works well enough. And you can go start a conversation. And this is a really good way to go through and do this because what you're looking to go do here is there might not be a right answer. But what you can go basically figure out is, which one works best. And you talk it out between yourself and the reviewer, either through the comments here. I really like doing it through the comments because you're right on the code, or you could hop on, like a Zoom call or Google Meeting or something like that and talk it out. But either way, definitely feel like the code review process is, designed to be interactive. It's designed to be a conversation about the code. And so it should feel like that. And in this case, we'll, say we talked it out on the phone and went, yep, it's good enough. We can mark it as resolved without actually making a change because that's what we agreed upon, in the conversation. The final thing I wanted to go discuss as a, reviewer is number one, we can do mark as viewed too, if we wanted to. But more importantly, we can go through and we can go accept these suggestions and just take them as code. So if we're going to go through and we hit commit suggestion, we can commit exactly that one suggestion here. But because we've got multiple, we could do a batch. And so what we can do here is we'll take that change and we'll take that change and that change. And all three of them together, we can go through and commit. So apply suggestions from code review to add getters. And if we commit this, you don't even need to make the change. You just need to accept it, and the code is automatically reflected. Now note, again, kind of coming back to this, for those of you who remember our bot video before, not all repositories have them, but they run every time you make a change. So even after we made this joint change there, because you can see that both of us worked together to go apply that change, our bots are still going to go run automatically. Now, at the end of the day, we finished the code review, and we have one change requested. Oh yeah, we've got one change requested because there's one reviewer that has requested changes. And so Once we've made all the changes, then go back, reach out to the reviewer, let them know, hey, everything is resolved, and they'll go through, give it another review. They'll either come back with more changes or they'll come back, with an approval, and then you're set to merge. But that is the gist of basically working on a code review as the PR owner.